Hello, everyone. It's Lauren Chamberlain here. We are going to wait for our special guest with AU Sports to join us. Let's see if she's ready to go. You guys are going to love this guest. She's incredible. We have such a fun friendship, so I'm really excited that you guys get to, learn a little bit more about her. Again, we're with Athletes Unlimited. I got my hat on, showing support. You guys get to in these live chats learn more about these amazing players, why they're playing, get to know them a little bit more. So let's see if she's hopping on. Okay, looks like she's here.
What's up,
Hi!
girl?
Oh
I
my god!
should have put
No,
the hat
I
on
just got
too.
it.
What was I
I just got it. I
thinking?
was like, wait, this is cute,
It's
right?
cute. It's
It is.
cute. You look good, girl. And the hair's
You do
popping. I love
too.
the
I know the
color.
blonde. I'm like, it's a little. I'm not gonna show you what's going on back there. We're just gonna keep it right here. We're just gonna keep it right in front.
No, it's
But
cute. It's cute. It's cute. It's cute.
before we get started, everybody, I can't say enough about this woman that I'm about to talk to. I've gotten the chance to be at tryouts with her, play against her. I've known you for quite a while now, and I'm just such a huge fan. So I'm excited for everybody to get to know you today. So I'm going to list off some of your accomplishments. I have a piece of paper here because, we need to get this right. All right. So we've got played at Cal Berkeley, 2019 USA Softball International Cup gold medalist, 2018 USA Softball International Cup bronze medalist, U.S. national team member in 2015, 2017, plays outfield, incredible human. I mean, we could talk about softball, but I want to hear about, everything else that's going on. But you guys, Jazmyn Jackson is with us. So I'm like clapping with my other hand. So talk to us about, are you quarantining right now? What's happening? Give us your update.
Yeah, so I'm still in California, quarantine mode. Like everyone is in the place working. So my parents are working, siblings are out of school, but they were doing school online. So everybody like had their own room in the house. Everybody is pretty much still quarantined here in California. Shelter in place is still in effect, and some like things are opening up, but I think the governor put out like all masks are still like you still have to wear masks when we go outside, things like that. So still quarantining over here in California.
I know it's a little different I'm in Florida now actually, but being in Oklahoma, it's completely opened up. So it's pretty different.
Yeah.
We're in the same country. We're just on completely different pages. But talk about
For
training.
sure.
How has this affected your training and what does that look like for you? Like daily basis training.
So it's been so weird. So luckily I have a younger sister that also plays softball, so I can like throw with her, I can hit with her, things like
Yeah.
that. But in terms of working out, I've had to get real creative with how I get my workouts because obviously you don't even want to do the same thing every day. So I have a couple friends, that have fitness pages. I'm like, okay, now's the time that I need you guys the
Right.
most. So Erica Piancaselli, she's also playing
Yes.
pro softball with AU, and then one of my other friends, she played softball at Oregon and soccer there. She has a fitness page, but I've just been like kind of keeping up with their workouts and rotating them because that's what I can do here. But yeah, sprints, things like that. But everything is like I haven't lifted any like huge weights, and usually that's
Yeah.
what I do, very explosive training in the weight room. But we haven't been able to do any of that, so it's been kind of weird. But it's been kind of cool figuring out different things that work for me just in the home. So I can never say like, oh, I can't go to the gym today. Like I can work out at my place.
Right. So it's interesting because you have to get creative physically. How have you gotten creative mentally, like really stretching your mental understanding of your own self? Because I know that a lot of people are using this time to really dive in and like, hey, I have to look at myself now and face myself. So talk about that.
For sure. So what's interesting is like before quarantine started, I like hit that place in my life where I was like, I got to figure myself out. I got to see what's up internally. Boom, was ready to go. Quarantine hit, and I'm like, okay,
Right.
so what do I do now? Like I felt like I was right and ready to go, but the relationships with like my family and how I interact with people. So like that has definitely played, like I haven't been able to like leave the house, so like just interacting with my family in different ways, that's been huge. Making sure that I can be 1% better every day in just my interaction with my family, or just making sure I read a book, or making sure I journal. It's weird that
Yeah.
like you think journaling will get easier in quarantine, but it gets harder. You have nothing to write about, right?
Right,
So
right. You're like,
just
my
trying to be
inspiration, like
consistent.
nothing's happening.
Exactly. So same thing, same day. But yeah, so trying to make sure I keep that consistency um, with checking in with myself, but also um, really getting to know my family members in other ways, so that's
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah. So, with everything that's happening, pandemic, right now, we've got a huge movement happening, Black Lives Matter movement. Talk about being outspoken.
Hmm.
You've been saying a lot, you've been posting a lot, and I'm learning a lot. It's
Hmm.
necessary
Hmm.
that everybody speaks about this. So, talk about speaking about racial equality and changes within the softball world, because I know that that's a place that we can absolutely start being closest to it.
Sure. It's been really interesting because as a Black woman, I've been dealing with this my whole life. So when it first hit, like the first week, it was, we're active, we're talking about things, we're going to protests, things like that. But after that first week, it's like, oh my gosh, like this is so heavy, this is so draining, this
Yeah.
is so exhausting, because we've kept up with the small things our whole life, but now that it's here, it's like it could be like you could go one way, but like, you know what, nothing's going to change, and it just kind of defeats you, or you can be like, okay, like time to buckle up, like it's time to do
Mhm.
this. So it's been really cool being able to speak out about my experiences, and people actually like tuning in and wondering what it's like and what's going on, in terms of softball, in terms of my life, in terms of my younger brothers, my dad, my siblings, my mom. um, just they are directly also affected by what's going on in the world. So
Right.
like it's not just, it doesn't, honestly, in softball it hits home obviously, but it's not a me thing, and it's not even a Black softball player thing, it's a Black lives thing. So
Right.
um the fight, even if you get exhausted in your own realm, there's so many other realms to
Mm.
take care of things in. So so I think it's been really cool to speak out. I mean, even I've learned some things about our history that I didn't know about, which has
Mhm.
been, pretty crazy because it's just not presented to us in that way. And I've been,
Right.
um, I post like so much about this stuff because th I've just seen certain things that have just like, boom, that resonates with me. And I hope like of the 50 million stories I post, that one of them will like hit home for
Yes.
someone. And I'm like, maybe I'm annoying because when people post stories when they're like, it's like this,
Right. All
like
the
in the
little,
top
the
bar,
little,
it's like,
little
oh,
marks. Yes. Yes.
yes, it's like tap, tap, tap. I don't care. But like maybe one
Right.
thing will stick with somebody. So that's been cool.
Yeah, I love that. And I think with the bulk of conversations that people have been having, and it is heavy and it's very emotional, for a
Hmm.
lot of people to unpack a
Hmm.
lot of different things. But having those
Hmm.
conversations and then following up a conversation with like, hey, like I maybe changed my opinion on something, or you let me see it in a different light. Like that in itself is such
Hmm.
a victory. You know what I mean? Like when
Hmm.
you can really almost break somebody's
Yes,
mold of thinking that they were conditioned to. So it's been interesting.
exactly.
And I think you're doing a phenomenal job, and we all love you so much. So the softball community thanks you for what you're doing.
Thank you. And everyone, I would love to shout out Lauren Chamberlain and everything she's doing. If you didn't
Oh,
know about where her proceeds are going right now, you need to get on her page. You need to find out about it, because Lauren is an ally and she's an active ally. So if you need, say you're not Black, say you want to find out other ways to help and other ways to understand, check Lauren out. She's always someone you can go to. I am positive. Read up on her. Anyways, just had to throw that out
yeah,
there.
thanks. That was sweet. I appreciate that.
Of
Switching
course.
gears a little bit, and we'll get back into some stuff in a bit. What about Athletes Unlimited was attractive to you? What are you most excited to play? Why was it exciting for you?
So, weird thing, I've always been like, stats, like I don't want to look at that stuff.
Right.
All of like the statistic type of thing, like makes me nervous. Like I'm a team player and only a team player. I don't want to talk about stats. I don't want to talk about hits, anything. Cause like I'm a perfectionist. So if I start getting into that, um, I'll like my emotions will
Yes.
show, in
Yes.
how I
Yes.
play, whether I do well or whether I don't. Right. So that was kind of like, like I don't know if I can do that. Um, but I got to see like just the roster, the list that's coming out. I'm like, oh my gosh, those are all my girls, number one. And then number two, what really got me was half of our we're all gonna get a bonus, whether it be like whatever. We're all going to end up getting a bonus based on how we play, but they're going to match half of our bonus to a charity of our choice. So that was the number
Wow,
one reason
yes.
I was like, oh, I'm down to, yeah, that was like, that's the, so if say my bonus is like $4,000, they'll match that, they'll do $2,000 to charity of my choice. So I was like, you know what?
Wow.
That's enough for me. Like, I just want to make this world a better place. That's, yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
That's my main reason
Yeah.
why.
No, that's amazing because, sports are such a great thing, right? And everybody wants to rush back to sports and be in
Hmm.
sports and almost as a way to, let me get my mind off of everything. But if you can switch that and
Hmm.
say, let me use sports to really create a platform for change and use my voice, I mean, wow.
For
So
sure.
kudos to Athletes Unlimited. I think that's an amazing thing as well.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
we're
It
going to
is.
jump into some questions. Okay, so these are kind of random questions just thrown
Hmm.
about. Dive into it. We want to know a little bit more about Jazmyn Jackson, and I'm about to learn a little bit more, so I'm excited.
Okay.
Talk about how you got
Okay.
started in softball. What age were you? Were you playing other sports? Talk about your start.
Yeah, so I started when I was 7. I think I'd played a little bit of basketball before that. I never played soccer, unfortunately. I'm sad I never did. I feel like, running, you're a little hard out and then knocking out after, like, I feel like
Oh, I
good for
did. Yeah,
me.
it wasn't for me. I'm
But
not a running
anyways, never played soccer. But then like at least I can sleep in the car on the ride home and nobody has to talk about it. I'm knocked out. Everybody knows I'm sick.
Yeah.
Anyways, right. But so I started when I was 7. I played recreationally, East Side San Jose, where I'm from. I played recreationally for like 2 years, and then when I was 9, I jumped into um, not professional, whoa, jazz, into travel softball, into club softball. And from there, I've pretty much never had a summer off. But you know how it goes. Everyone knows how it goes. But I played basketball here and there. I ran track here and there. But my number one thing in life was like, and I went to a really good sports school, basketball school. They went to like states every single year. So I was like, you know what? I don't really want to. I don't want to play a sport that I'm not good at. Like I don't feel like learning. I just want to be the best at the thing I'm
Mhm.
the best at. So kind of that perfectionist mentality again. That's why I stuck with softball and didn't play too many other sports, even though now looking back on it, I wish I had. But when starting softball, my parents just put me in softball and they're like, oh, she's kind of good. And then they heard about scholarships and then they just kept pushing me from there. So.
Yeah, talk about Cal and just the experience of being a collegiate athlete. How cool, 4 years of getting to rep a school and having a platform like that.
Obviously, we all know that we still miss it. Like everyone that played a
Oh,
college sport and got to
yes, I
represent
would
their
go back.
school,
Just give me one week,
right?
like 1 week.
Just
Yes.
just one. I promise I'd be the best ever. But dude, I mean, representing a school is like the coolest thing ever. Representing Cal was huge for me because I specifically went there for the education and the location, being close to my family. I love Berkeley. I love everything Berkeley stands for. A huge, liberal school and fighting for love, fighting for change. So I was happy that I got to represent my school
Mhm.
in that way, being more than just an athlete, just because of Berkeley's history. And then, I mean, just playing college softball is the coolest thing ever. And I wish we're so in it when we're in it, but now when we look back, it's like, like I wish I could go back. And it's not even that you didn't give it your all. It's just like those were the times I gave it my all.
Yes, yes. And I think it's almost like, don't take this for granted. Like, I want to like scream it to the girls. Like, I know you're so caught up in it, but like really understand like the weight of this moment. Like, you will never get this back.
Yes,
And we all share that. We do share that similar feeling. I miss it
yes,
all the time. I miss it all the time.
ever.
It was so fun. But on the flip side, being able to say that you're a professional
Hmm.
athlete is
Hmm.
very rewarding too. So talk about that transition when you went from
Hmm.
collegiate to playing
Hmm.
professionally.
So it was actually kind of weird. I never planned on playing professionally growing up or even in college because it's not really it's not we don't have that much visibility. So I didn't even get to see it growing up. Pro softball. I saw some USA, but I didn't really get to see pro. So when I'm blessed enough to be able to play at this level, and when I was playing on Team USA in between college years in the summers, that's kind of when I was like, okay, like it's amateur, but like we're playing professional girls. I'm playing with professional
Hmm.
teammates. I'm like, okay, I can do this. So when I graduated, I had the opportunity to play in Houston. I played in Italy. Um, and then now, even though NPF isn't happening, the new team Commotion in California, and then now getting to play with AU Pro Sports. Um, it's a really cool world to be in that I never thought I was going to be in. So I'm just like, I love learning from people like you or like people that have been in this pro world before me, understanding how it works. And then
Hmm.
a lot of understanding how pro softball works is understanding how we can make it better and how we can get more visibility. So
Yes.
that's kind of changed my mind in itself, is like, okay, I can play this game, but like how can we make sure that more girls can make it to this level?
Yeah, and it's always evolving. And that's something I've learned too, is even,
Hmm.
you know, the people that were before me and the vets that came before me on the team, I mean, they saw all the different levels, you know, of change that they went through. And then I saw change, and then you
Hmm.
see it's always evolving. And another cool part about Athletes Unlimited is because of that. It's just evolving, you know, our current
Hmm.
way
Hmm.
that we look at professional softball and opportunities, you know, ultimately for women. So totally cool. I love hearing your story because it
Hmm.
is different, not and everybody else's you know,
Yeah.
everybody looks different. So talk about all the
Hmm.
positions that you've played. What is your favorite? We know you're in the outfield, but like
Oh,
talk do you have a favorite that's like
right.
not in the outfield?
So yeah, I do actually. Fun fact, my favorite position is third base. Weird,
Okay.
right? Okay,
Okay.
so like I know I grew up a middle infielder, outfielder, but mostly middle infield. And then high school, like for my high school, I played shortstop, 1 year of right field, but because I was a freshman. But shortstop pretty much the whole time. And then when I got to college, it was left field, center field, right field, and then junior year played mostly third base, senior year played mostly shortstop. But within those years, I would play second base occasionally. So I've
Yeah.
pretty much played every position except first base, because first base is actually so much harder than it looks, and that is a position that like
Thanks,
I
Jazz.
think has
I'm like,
surpassed
say it
me.
for the people in the
No,
back.
no, I'm dude, I am so serious. I just, that's like a different level of knowing your teammates, and then also just the re I just I'm cool. I'm cool. I'll be on the other side of that. You got it. But then also pitching, catching, obviously, never did that. But third base is actually my favorite, especially when I know the pitcher very well, because it's like,
Right.
if
It's
a
fun.
shot's hit at me, I'll feel it and I'll throw it. Yeah, and I'll be like, hey, don't let that happen again, but I got you,
Yeah. Right.
things
Uh-huh.
like that. So it's always like it's fun to be like in it, like right there. So third base is my
Yeah, yeah,
favorite,
yeah.
even though I love
Oh,
the outfield, of course.
yeah, yeah, hot corner though. Hot corner's so serious. That's serious. You know,
Mhm.
third base, I did the
Mhm.
same, and I was like, you know what, first base, I'm gonna go over here. And then you had that lefty come up, and I'm like, bro, if you pull this ball right now,
Hey,
don't do this to me.
everybody has their thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Talk
yeah.
about pregame meal and postgame meal. Do you have any favorites that are consistent?
Hmm. So college, I kind of felt like I was on a budget sometimes, so pregame meal was whatever I could get. Something
Right.
that I don't know. Let's talk about professional softball.
Yeah.
Basically, I just don't like. I like to keep it a little light. So within like the past 4 years, I've started to really like salad, which is like really cool for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
like a yeah, right. That I don't know why I was scared of healthy food for some reason. It's pretty good. But I like a salad or like half a sandwich. I keep it pretty light before the game, just because I don't want to feel like I'm slow, especially because speed is one of my
Yeah.
main things. Um, yeah, definitely some coffee. I'll throw some coffee in there. I don't know how good it is for you, but I'll throw some coffee in there. Iced,
Oh, I love
hot,
coffee.
whatever the
Love it.
time, I'll do it. Yeah, exactly. And then post game meal. It's like a mood thing. I'm a huge mood eater. So I'm like, I'm feeling tacos tonight, or I'm feeling pasta. I need some Italian. It's a huge mood thing, but I keep, it's pretty heavy post game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You're like loaded up. I worked hard. Like, give me my food. Like, I earned this.
Yes.
Um,
Give me my food. I'm about to go to sleep. Yes.
talk about Netflix. Are you into Netflix? Are you into Hulu? Like, what are you watching right now?
Yeah. So I'm definitely a Netflix girl. Um, Hulu's cool every now and then because my family has it, and I'll go check it if I can't find something on Netflix. But I'm definitely a Netflix girl. I actually watch a lot of anime. I'm kind of
Okay, I'm
weird.
trying to know this. I'm
Yeah.
trying to
So
know this life. I am. I'd have nowhere to. Do I
yeah.
have to start somewhere? Tell me
Whoa.
where to start. Like, what do I have to do?
Yeah, Hunter. It's on Netflix. Just the first four seasons, and the thing is, like, you're just gonna binge this, and then it's so cute and it's great and it's
Okay.
it's like a cartoon, but it's like kind of serious. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But
Right.
no. So I love that's like the nerdiest thing about me is I love anime, but I love Stranger Things. I watched Game of Thrones. That's like my thing. Even though last season wasn't amazing, but I don't know. I'm like definitely a sci-fi girl. Yeah. I don't really like watching reality TV because I'm like, oh, people are really dealing with this in real life. It hurts my heart,
Right.
you know?
Right. Right.
So
Right. Right.
I don't really
Yes.
watch like I'm like, don't tell him you
Uh
love
huh.
him.
Uh
Things
huh.
like that.
So, other than a show, are you watching? Excuse me, not watching. Are you reading anything? Do you have like a favorite book? Are you a big reader or no? I know you journal, but talk about reading.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm a huge reader. Again, I kind of like sci-fi books. So there's this, yeah, have you ever seen Ender's Game? It's like a
Mm-mm.
movie, and I think we all read that. It's by Orson Scott Card. Anyways, I'm reading like a sequel to that. It's like a sci-fi book, and then I'm reading this book my boyfriend got me called Underground Railroad. That's a really
Cool.
good book. Kind of a glimpse into the past of you know Black lives, things like that. And then
Mhm.
I really love like self-care, like self-improvement, spiritual books. So I read like The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and then pretty much the rest of those books. But like the Four Agreements, that's definitely my favorite book, like all time, and I've read it like four times at this point. There's you can always get better. You can always get better.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always room to grow.
Mhm.
Um, Talk about
Mhm.
your favorite teammate of all time. If you could pick one, you could give me two, but talk about your favorite teammates.
Wow. Okay. That's a really hard question, but I'm gonna try to answer this real quick.
Okay.
That's a really hard question. So Britt Vonk, one of my best friends, she played she was a fifth year senior when I was a freshman in college. So it was like we had a huge age gap kind of because she was like a vet and I was brand new, but we like found out that we were exactly each other, just like in different bodies. So that
Your
is like
soul
one of my
sisters.
best
Yes.
friends.
Yes.
Yes, like from on the field things to off the field things, like that is one of my favorite teammates. She played just for everyone. She played for or she still plays for the Dutch national team. She went to UC Berkeley. She played some pro softball out here in the States. Um, Great person, love her. She's great. And then Jenna Lilly, actually, she's one of my best friends now. It's funny because we had a little bit of history before college. Like we played PGF against each other. Our teams kind of got in a fight. And then freshman year of college, um, what happened? We were both like, it was between us for like Pac-12 freshman of the year. And she ended up getting it, which obviously so cool. But I played with her that summer and I'd be like, hey, freshman of the year. And she'd be like, hey. And then then we've been like best friends. We call each other all the time. We were roommates for a couple years with USA, but she's like one of my best friends too. So I've just made so many. I mean, I can't, those were just two off tops
Right. 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 Right.
that friends that I would have never made otherwise. But I mean, there's so many. Like for everyone, any of my friends that watch this, like, I love you. It's so
I know. I know. You're
I
like,
have so
don't
many,
call me
right?
this.
That's a tough question. That's a tough question.
Tell the people something that they might not know about you.
Um, uh, okay, well, it's kind of a fun fact about me and a couple other players. Me and Alicia Ocasio have the same birthday, same year, and then also Kelsey Stewart. We have the same birthday. She's a little older than us, but me, Kelsey Stewart, and Alicia Ocasio, we all have the same birthday. That's kind of a fun fact, right?
Yeah, yeah, totally. That's weird. I feel like our softball world, like
Yeah,
at our
kind of
level, is
weird.
not
It's
very
really
big. So it's like that's weird for that to be the case.
that, yeah, I know. I was like, what? Okay, birthday
Yeah,
twins,
yeah,
triplets.
I love
Yeah.
that. Um, any beauty
Mm-hmm.
products that you are into right now? Like what's on your face right now?
Just sunscreen, Neutrogena.
Woo!
But
Look at her
what do
skin,
I use? I
y'all. Look at
usually
her skin.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. You know, it's probably been this quarantine mode, like not being
Right.
outside, getting drained by the sun. Right? But usually I just like to keep it all natural. So for moisturizer, I'll put a little bit of coconut oil or a little bit of shea butter or something like that. But I have to keep my face moisturized. Always keep the sunscreen because, you know, black girls burn
Hmm.
too. But I usually keep things pretty natural on my face, and I don't like to do too much. I just let my face tell me what it wants. Pretty much how
Right. I love that. Um, the all
Mhm.
natural is the way to
Go with
go.
the flow kind of girl.
I
Yeah,
wish
go
y'all
with the
should have
flow
seen
kind of
this.
girl.
I'm a little bit. We don't want to see all that right now. Maybe another time.
It's
Um,
blurry, but you guys don't have to see these scars. But
talk about if you were to pick a sport other than softball to be just as good at. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about what you might, you know, want to be?
for sure, definitely soccer because I love to run. I think running, well, not, you know, I like to sprint. So I'm kind of like underestimating the actual amount of running they do. But I feel like in softball, it's when you're mad, it's like you have to suppress your emotion and go back to the dugout and keep it cool. But like I feel like in soccer, you can just run your little heart out. Like as pissed
Yeah.
off as you are, you can just keep going and right? Like I have to wait 9 people to try to hit a ball again, and it's gonna be harder the next time. Like what?
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like just a sport that would give me like immediate satisfaction and like just getting out my anger and like running or kicking a ball or you know bodying up or something like that. But probably
Yeah.
soccer.
Yeah, I think about like basketball would be so cool because it's like if you give up, you know, somebody steals a pass, whatever, you're able to like pick yourself back up like within 20 seconds. So like you're able to like really get your mind to like
Exactly,
flip back. But like especially like I had my seasons as a
dude.
DP. I'm like I can't even pick myself up on defense. Like what is that? What am I doing? Like what is my life right now? Like how can I contribute? So I feel you.
Right? Oh my goodness, I feel that.
As far as a different career, like if you were to pick a like lawyer, doctor, actress, singer, what would you pick?
That I don't okay, so this is like, do I have the talent to do this or do I not have the talent to do this? You know what I'm saying? Like
If you could be really good, like if you could be really successful at this other career path.
no, okay, I'm kind of shy. I wish I could sing, but I wouldn't do that. But I I wish I could, but I'd actually be useless. Um, I wish I could team up with all my girls, all my friends, everybody in the softball world, and we could create a league that we want to be successful, that's across the nation, that is, I don't know, paired up with MLB. We're in actual
Mhm.
cities. That's what I would do. That's number one, what I would do.
I love that. Hey, y'all heard it here first. We are on the same page, and you know we got
Hey,
to be
guys,
making things work.
it's
We're
happening.
trying, y'all. We're
Let's
trying,
go.
and it's gonna
We're
be
trying.
it's
We're
gonna be
trying.
big. It is. It's gonna be big. And you know what the cool part
Mm-hmm.
is in
Yeah.
professional softball, y'all, the people that are watching right now, a lot of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes is player driven, and it's players, you know, taking initiative and finding people that really truly do support them and making waves that way. So y'all hang tight. We're working. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna do this. We're gonna pull it off.
Yes,
Well,
we got you.
Jazz,
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much for coming on. Y'all know a little bit more about her now. I
Of
know more. I'm so
course.
excited. I love talking to you every time, but we appreciate you. And Athletes
Oh,
Unlimited is
I love
so
you, Lo.
lucky to
You're
have
great.
you. Love you too. All right, y'all. We're
Oh,
taking off.
thank you.
See you guys next time.
Okay. Bye.